perfect. Niggas just having a conversation.
What's up, good people? Welcome to Storytime by the Fireplace, episode 7. Let me let the people tune in before we get started. What's up with you, Crush? What's up with you, good people? Y'all missed yesterday, if you missed yesterday bathroom talk with Memphis Will, man, it was a dope episode, dope subject. We discussed, I can't think, you had to go to the bathroom talk to find out. I think, let me see, what was the subject yesterday for bathroom talk? Praying, it was, stop. You saw my show yesterday, bro. Bathroom talk was about, because we did 17 of them. But yesterday was based on, practice. Yesterday was, Bathroom Talk, episode 17. If y'all miss it, it was practice self-motivation. When I tell you, man, it was a spiritual episode, you know it wasn't me because, like I said, I don't plan none of these shows. I asked God to. Bathroom Talk is just, for the people who don't know, Bathroom Talk is based on a subject, and then we break down that subject. And so, for example, yesterday was practice self-motivation. So I asked God to give me a subject about 6:59, and I go live at 7 p.m. No bulletin points, so just speak straight from the Spirit. So that's when I say, it come from God. Then, of course, we know story time by the fireplace. Sometimes me by myself, sometimes I bring in special celebrity guests or some of my good friends, man, and we share testimonies, we share motivational stories, anything to inspire you and make you feel that we're inspiration. And tonight I do have a special guest, man. But before I introduce my special guest, shout out to my sponsors. Airhead Waters for sponsoring Bathroom Talk with Memphis Will as well as Storytime by the Fireplace. We speak it to existence, people. They're not sponsoring yet, but when you speak it to existence, be patient. It'll happen. Now, with that being said, man, let me give you my platforms before we jump off into Storytime by the Fireplace, episode 7. I'm excited. Bathroom Talk, 17 episodes in the can, and tonight, number 7, and everybody knows 7 is the number of completion, one of my blessed numbers, one of my favorite numbers. Actually, one of my casino numbers, especially when you're gambling. When you hit the 7 on the come out, not on the go out. So go ahead and get a look at this fireplace because it's going to get hot, and I'm going to turn it off in a minute. Now let me give you my social media platforms before I jump into episode 7 with my special guest. Now, a lot of people give you their cash out and they give you all this stuff to do. I don't want none of that. I'm just going to give you guys 2 platforms to follow. Now, I'm going to give you all my platforms, but I will request that you do those 2 if you don't want to do all of them. The 2 that I request is you go to my YouTube page because all my videos get uploaded on YouTube right after we finish the show. So go to my YouTube page, Memphis Will, and subscribe to my YouTube page under Memphis Will and hit the notification button so you'll get all the videos that I'm uploading. I'm about to start uploading a bunch of comedy sketches too, so make sure you tune into that. Go to my YouTube page, subscribe to Memphis Will, and hit the notification button, or go to my Instagram. Not or, and, because when you say or, black people, they only going to do one. So, and go to my Instagram and follow it at the Memphis Will. That's TheMemphisWill. Now, let me give you all my platforms, because I want you to do all of them. YouTube, Facebook, and TikTok. All 3 of them. It's under Memphis Will. That's simple. YouTube, subscribe to Memphis Will, hit the notification button. Facebook, follow Memphis Will. TikTok, follow Memphis Will. All MEMPHISWILL. My Instagram and Twitter is at the Memphis Will. That's TheMemphisWill. That's Instagram and Twitter at the Memphis Will. With that being said, welcome to Storytime by the Fireplace with Memphis Will, episode 7. Shout out to the sponsors. Real quick before we get started, and remember you can catch me on Facebook and Instagram live at 7 o'clock Pacific time each and every Tuesday and Wednesday night. Tuesday night, Bathroom Talk with Memphis Will. Wednesday night, Storytime by the Fireplace with Memphis Will and special guests. Let me hit this water. Now this guy that's going to be joining me for episode 7, man, is one of my best friends here in California. I mean, he didn't make it to the housewarming, didn't make it to the birthday party, but that doesn't mean he's not a good friend. Miss everything I invite him to, but besides that, he made it tonight. And I still call him friend despite him going to everybody else's stuff but mine. Know that. Now, I want to bring this guy. Even the old girl told him at one point, you know what, you Memphis friend, you didn't go to the party. And I wanted to tell her, I don't care if you didn't come to no parties. He put his name on that storage unit when I really needed it. I don't care if he came to their birthday party. You ain't gonna stop me from thinking that he's my party. That's what I needed him. Let me tell you, he was there for your boy, Memphis Will, because I got kicked out of one storage unit. Therefore, and what does Instagram keep saying? Keep saying like pause or something like that. Chef, what's up with you, Chef? What's up with you? My people checking in. All right, let's get rolling. Reggie Clark. Spring 9-4, indeed. The Deuce Dog checking in. One of the financial advisors. So all my friends that got all that money, make sure you DM me so I can hook you up with my boy, Reginald Clark. That's going to take care of your money. Don't worry, Reggie. My 6 figures, 7 figures is coming. We working close to 6 now, but when the 7 hit, I'm going to hit you up when I need you. All right, with that being said, man, one of my best California friends, man, not only is a comedian and talented writer, but he's a father, and he's a working man. One of the good guys out here in West Coast, California. Born and raised in Los Angeles, California. Such TV shows such as Who Got Jokes. Just finished doing the Revoke television show, the Puff Daddy show called Funny as Blank. Because you know we don't cuss on this show too, or say the N words. Clean content for the kids. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, my good friend, Mr. Chris Sneed.
What up, man?
What's up, bro?
Man.
What's up, fam?
Oh, man, I'm here. This is a nice place, I'll tell you that.
Thank you, man. What's up with you, Chris?
Oh,
Say
man.
what's up to the people, man.
What's going on, people? Since we shout out sponsors, I want to shout out my sponsor who sponsored me. It's not Crystal Guys, it's what's in here, which is a mango margarita. And I got my wine too. Now you making that look like alcoholic. But I got my mango margarita and I got some wine, man. So yeah, man, thanks for having me, man.
So lean up a little bit, Chris, so they can catch you on Instagram on the whole foot. Hold on, let me slide it over a little bit so they can catch you. Slide y'all over Instagram.
Is that cool? There we go.
Yeah, so Chris,
yep.
Tell the good people, man, well, first of all, like I was saying, guys, when I lived in my first storage unit, I got kicked out. They caught me in there sleeping. There was another storage unit, the same company, just a different location.
Yep.
And I wanted to try to get in it, but my name was on the list where I couldn't move in it. And so I got a girl to end up signing the name and get it. We ended up getting into it. She wanted to try to snatch her name off, and they was going to put me out of there. I wouldn't have had nowhere to go. And I only knew one person to call, and that was Chris, bro. Chris took off from work, shot down there, switched everything over in his name, and I was cool for the next 3-4 years, bro. How long gotta live there, man?
Yep, I remember that, man. I came down there and put my name on the storage unit. And that's what good friends do. And it wasn't because they didn't take my social security number. It wasn't going to affect my credit. They ain't a good friend. I was like, man, I got to help my boy out. And I went on and did that, man. And you came a long way, man.
Yeah. I mean, you saw the story.
I saw the story.
You remember the nights of dropping me off? And
one thing I can say, the nigga kept it clean. Ooh, excuse my language, but he kept it clean in the storage unit. Everything was organized, set up. I almost forgot it was a storage unit. It was nice in there, Memphis.
Well, see, a lot of people, what I tell people all the time is you don't have to look like what you're going through. Because whenever you pick me up for a show or drop me off from a show, nobody knew I was in the storage unit unless I told them.
Right.
Because I would go to Gold's Gym, man, take a shot. It's just part of them bros, persevering, uplift, manhood, scholarship, persevering, uplift, man, the whole 9 yards. So what I would do, man, is, I ain't gonna lie, man, being an Omega man from Spring 9-4, man, them survival skills kick in, bro. When you're up against the trouble, meet it squarely face to face, lift your chin, plant your feet, and take a brace. When it's vain to try to dodge it, you may fail, but you may conquer. See it through. Now, I may have said a word or two wrong because I ain't said it in a long time.
Well, I wouldn't know. I didn't go to school, so I wouldn't know.
They didn't teach that at community college. But those surviving mechanism, man, kick in. And so I had so many people that was offering me to move in with them. Mm. But you know how people energy is where they telling you to move in, but they really don't want you to move in.
Oh, man. Mm-hmm.
Or if you move in and they have a secret motive. Y'all got to watch those people with secret motives. Everybody offering you something is not a good thing, even if it's convenient for you at that time. So me moving in with somebody, would that have been convenient for me? Yes. But what would have been the ultimate outcome? My peace of mind would have been gone.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
And buy that.
Nothing more valuable than your peace of mind. So rather than to go manipulate or use a woman, rather than go live with a person that didn't really want me there, which means all their energy would have showed me that they did not want me there. Mm-hmm. Or they would have tried to use it against me. You remember when? Now I owe you $1 million because I slept on your couch one night.
Right. Right.
and they're not going to say, the more successful God bless me, they wouldn't say, hey, that man slept on my couch one night. No, they were going to tell a story like, man, I used to let him sleep with me and he sleep in my house and do this and that. No, you didn't, bro. Mm-hmm. Spend one night over there. Now you want to take credit of my survivors.
Right, right.
So stay away from people like that. One thing about Chris is where you know you got a solid friend. He has never told nobody that he put his name on that storage unit that I was living in. He never told a soul. This is me sharing it with y'all. Mm-hmm. But him, once he did it, he never told a soul. And that's when you know you'll surround yourself with people that's solid. Because once again, somebody that wasn't a friend, the minute they get upset or angry with you, they'd have went down there and took their name off the thing. Or they'd have told everybody around, I signed that storage unit for me. It wouldn't have nowhere to go. And that's the type of people that, like I said, don't let everybody help you. Mm-hmm. Make sure the people that's helping you are solid people. Because if not, that same blessing going to turn into a curse. So that goes back to surrounding yourself with solid people. And how do you surround yourself with solid people? You have to start practicing being solid yourself.
Right.
And when you practice being solid yourself, other solid people will be attractive to you. Mm-hmm. But if you messy and gossiping and talking about people behind their back, then you would attract other people who messy and gospel and talk behind other people's back. One thing I can say to Chris, which I have said before, to all the people that's watching, take this tool with you. Whenever somebody call you to start bad-mouthing somebody else, and you're the neutral friend. I've talked about this on one of the shows before. Here's the key to tell them. Tell them, I mean you no disrespect. Now, I know you've heard me say this. Mm-hmm. I mean you, not that you called to say something bad about somebody, but I gave you an example. Yeah, remember? I told you this. Right. I said, make sure you utilize this. I said, tell them, I mean you no disrespect, but I don't care to hear it. And I had so many people get upset with me, veteran comedians or superstar comedians, just because I said, I mean you no disrespect. I don't care to hear it. See, I'm a Southern country boy, and I got 3 older brothers, and a bunch of mentors, fat brothers like Rock Dog and everybody like that. So I was raised and taught to treat everybody with respect. Mm-hmm. Not just because I ain't going to treat you just because you're a celebrity comedian and then you're an upcoming comedian. Right. I'm going to treat both of y'all with respect. Right. I'm not going to treat you this way because you're here and then treat this person this way because they are amateur. Right. Or I got more credits than them or whatever the case may be. I was taught you treat everybody with respect. Mm-hmm. Up and down, left to right. And if you do that, that keep yourself solid and it keep your spirit pure. Mm-hmm. Because you're treating others how you want to be treated. Mm-hmm. I'm going to treat a homeless man the same way I treat a rich man. Right. I'm going to treat a celebrity that's comedian in my industry the same way I treat somebody who first day doing comedy. Right. You won't see the difference because I'm going to treat both of y'all with respect. Right. And so when somebody call y'all to speak negative about other people, tell them no disrespect, but I don't care to hear it. As a matter of fact, let me call the person and then you can tell them. Mm-hmm. And that'll solve all that problem. One thing Denzel Washington said was, when people call you to talk about other people, here's what you really should say. I got this from Denzel Washington. I read it somewhere. I act like I called Denzel and he told me. People act like they know people personally. Like, I'm going to tell you what Denzel told me.
So I was talking to D-Dub and, who was that? Denzel Washington.
You know, in our industry, people do name dropping. And they try to call him by nicknames. Just like you just said. You know, me and my boy D-Dub was hanging out. Who was that? This and watching, you know, we hanging out bowling and everything. We were bowling. You know, mentioned this to me. But I read this. It's so true, though. Denzel said, whenever your so-called friends basically come up to you to tell you things that other people said about you, here's what you tell them. Say this here. This is how you know you got a solid friend. Say this here. Say, don't come and tell me what other people said about me. Tell me why are they comfortable enough to say it to you. Ooh, is that not solid? That's Don't tell me what people said about me. Tell me why they comfortable enough to tell you. You understand what I'm saying? And so to give an example to that, Chris, if Chris my homie, this is my partner, this is my boy, everybody know me and Chris run together. You usually don't see me and don't see Chris, don't see me on the comedy circuit. Me, him, Sam, a couple of people, you know, but I'm usually be with Chris or Big Sam or, you know, people like that. But anyway, if somebody is comfortable enough to come and tell me negative things about Chris, well, the point in telling me is so I can tell Chris. And a lot of times, when they come and tell me all these negative things about Chris, and I'm just sitting there listening to him, it's called guilty by association. By me sitting there listening to him, they'll call Chris. And everything they just reported to me about Chris, they're going to say, I said it. You understand what I'm saying? So now we got tension in our relationship and nobody even know why. Right. All because I sat there and listened to a person, so I'm guilty by association. Because once again, if I'm a real friend, then this person is not even comfortable to tell me about Chris because I put them in check. Right. I don't need Chris to be there for me to put him in check. I'm going to say, yo, check this out, dog. Chris my partner. And no disrespect, but I don't care to hear it. Right. As a matter of fact, if you want to say some negative things about Chris, let me put my partner on the phone and you tell him. And you know what I just did? I just eliminated any intensity that can come between me and him. That's number one. And two, the person that wanted to say something negative about him just realized I can go to Memphis and vent to him about Chris. Vice versa. And that's what a solid friend is. So if you're that type of person where people always want to call you and tell you negative things about what people said about you, get away from those kind of people, man. Because the first thing you should be asking yourself is, stop telling me what other people saying about me, because this is what they'll say. Well, you know, I'm just looking out for you. That's the cover. Right. I'm just looking out for you. No, you're not. Right. What you're doing is feeding negative energy into my spirit, messing up my good vibe, and I'm allowing you to because I'm sitting there listening to you. But what I should have said to you was, because I've had so many people come up to me and tell me what other people said about me. Right. Until I read that quote from Denzel. It's like, don't tell me what other people said about me. Tell me, why are they comfortable with saying it to you? It's only one reason somebody comfortable with saying it to you. Because you're going to sit there and listen and gospel and agree with them. Right. That is the only reason somebody is comfortable enough to tell you something about the next person, because one, you listening, and two, they know you're going to agree with them. Right. So, surround yourself with solid friends, because solid friends are a part of anybody manifesting a dream to be successful. Me and Chris in the same industry, both comedians, both very competitive, both Capricorns actually. But guess what?
We don't even look at it as a competition.
It's not as a competition. You have to be the best Chris you could be. I have to be the best Memphis I could be. And the fact is, if I want the best for him, then if I see something on stage, a joke I can tag along, or something I can say to help him, and then it's my responsibility to say that. And that's not blocking myself because I added on to his joke. Right. How am I blocking myself by seeing something he said that can tag onto it and make it that much better? How am I blocking me? Right. So people have to get out the mindset of that selfish mentality of thinking when they do for others, they're setting themselves back. When they do for others, they're blocking their own blessings. Right. What is for you is definitely for you. Now, of course, you're supposed to take care of yourself first. But if something is for somebody else, then share that information with that person. Get that person that tip, especially if you're sitting there calling them your friend. Because like I said, if you're a real friends want to see friends win. If I got $1 million, I want to see how he can get $1 million. If I got 10 million, I want to see how he can get 10 million.
Right.
That's what solid friends do. But you got these friends who are your friends according to what you got. In other words, you may have some multi-millionaire friends. But the question is, will y'all still be friends when you become a multi-millionaire?
That part.
Because I know you know a lot of millionaires.
I do know some millionaires.
So, and it's easy for you to be their friend because they don't need you for anything, and they don't consider you a threat or competition or anything like that.
Not at all.
But
right.
What is do the relationship fracture of the relationship change? Because the first thing people say who are more successful than you right now is, "Oh, they're so humble." Right. People who got more than people always like to take the humble, like they humble. But when you get more than them, now all of a sudden they be the same person start saying, "Oh, Chris getting cocky."
Right.
"Oh, Chris acting funny." "Oh, Memphis got that HBO special. You can't tell him."
But the thing is, you're not changing. You're changing.
Exactly.
That person.
Say that, bro. Your success. Go ahead, bro.
My success. I'm not changing. They're changing because now their expectations of me are different than what it was when I was so-called beneath them. Exactly. However they felt. So now that I got to a certain point of success, now they're looking at me different and they're changing. And by them changing, they're saying I'm changing.
Right.
Like I've heard a guy say, a successful guy, comedian guy say, "Hey, no, it was a rapper. Hey man, when I got millions, my friends started asking me for more. Like I was supposed to do X, Y, and Z for them. And because I didn't do it, they said I changed. And I said, no, you changed because when I didn't have anything, you didn't ask me for nothing. Now that I got something, you need everything from me. Right. And now that I can't provide everything for you, now you look at me, oh man, you acting funny, you different, you changed. No, you changed.
Right. The scenario changed to where God bless you to be successful now. And like I said, if a person is a solid friend, no matter how much money they have, one, they should want you to get it as well. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
They room for you to get it, showing you ways to get it.
Right.
So everybody can eat. And that's one thing I like about Dame Dash mentality, as far as what he preached. He said, let's all get rich.
Right.
Not one or two of us get rich, let's all get rich. You understand what I'm saying? But if somebody sitting at the top of the mountain, you at the bottom of the mountain, and you getting crumbs, and they treat you a certain way, they calling you friend, you're not necessarily a friend, you're more so an associate, and you're stroking their own ego. Right. Because you're a reminder to them that they're successful. Right. But the problem is they're comparing themselves to the next successful person, and the ladder climbs higher and higher. Right. But you have to have the mindset of being grounded that no matter if you're a multi-millionaire, no matter if you're homeless, your happiness is not based on the money. Right. Your happiness is based within. Right. And what comes within is the core. And what is the core is your relationship you have with the Most High Power. Because at the end of the day, it's a lot of homeless people got more of a peace of mind. People living in Beverly Hills or Calabasas. Right. It's a lot of millionaires that literally want to commit suicide. Now,
Let me ask you something. Go ahead. If you had $100 million, but nobody wanted to be around you, right? Nobody wanted to come hang. They like, nah, we don't really like Memphis. You have no friends. Right. You got $100 million. You in this place having talked by the fireplace by yourself. Right. Because nobody wants to mess with Memphis. Right. That's a horrible feeling, bro.
I see what you're saying.
To have $100 million and nobody mess with you.
Right. So if I had
$100 million, but no friends, nobody want to deal with you.
$100 million, no friends, and nobody want to deal with you.
Right. Like we
and
cool.
See, and let me answer that question for you. For the first 27 years, I'm gonna be fine with that. And I don't want to hang with you either. Get away from me. I'm gonna fly in my lady friends and we're gonna have a ball. Now, after about the 28th, 29th year, I'm finally going to get tired of only dealing with all these females and not hollering at my partners. I see what you mean by that. So around the 30th, 40th year is when I will say, you know what, where is my partner? No, but he absolutely right. I'll give you an example. I remember when I first saw a beach. You grew up in California, so you see beaches all your life. So I'm a country boy from Memphis, and we ain't got nothing but the river. That's it, and you don't want to swim in that. that turtle's up under, snatch your butt up under there. But anyway, so the first time I ever saw a beach was in Virginia. One with a cat named Chestnut, was a comedian named Chestnut. He had a show in Virginia. And so I ended up driving my car to Virginia. First time about to see a beach. I was more excited about seeing the beach than I was to even do the show. And so as soon as we got there, he checked into the hotel. I went right to the beach. It's jet dark. And I'm sitting on the thing in the beach. The big light trucks come, the big trucks to clean up the sand. I'm like, oh, it was this close up on me.
And this your first time?
First time. It was this close. It's 3-something in the morning. I'm asleep on the beach. I ain't even go to the room.
Right.
That's what I'm trying to tell you. So the next day when the sun came, the same day, but when the sun came up, so I'm at the beach all the way until the show started. But to get back to what you're saying, so I'm in the water, first time seeing the beach. I'm enjoying the waves, man. I'm having the best time ever by myself. I'm by myself. First time seeing the beach. So I'm excited about seeing the beach. After about the first 5 or 6 hours, I was just having fun, enjoying the beach.
Right.
But about the 7th or 8th hour, because I see families out in the beach playing, and I was too young. Wives and partners and homegirls and college roommates playing. So for a split second, I was standing in the beach and I was wishing my frat brothers was there, wishing my blood brothers was there, wishing my family members was there. I was like, man, how excited would it be to be sharing this with them? And it was at that point that I had a realization of exactly what you just said, bro. I was like, as beautiful as this beach is, as much as I waited 21, 23 years to see, I ain't seen no beach till I was like 20, 23, 22. All my life of waiting to see a beach, I'm sitting there thinking, I wish my brothers was here. I wish my frat brothers was here. My family was here. My mom and my dad was here. You know what I'm saying? I'm wishing they was here to share this moment with me.
Right.
So I felt lonely in one of the most beautiful places in the world that I waited 20-some years to see. So at that moment, God was showing me it's about family and people. Right. And treating people right. Because I ended up having a good time with other people at the beach. Total strangers. You understand what I'm saying? But the beach would have been so much better with the people I love and care about. You understand what I'm saying? Right. Did I have a good time? Yes, I did. Could it have been better with the people that I wanted to be with? Absolutely, bro. So it doesn't matter how much money you have or what house you drive, what house you live in, what car you drive. It still comes down to within your core. Right. Your core. That's all it comes down to is your core. And the core of you is who you are. The core of you is how you smell. The core of you is how you think. And just for the case for the people who don't know what the core is pretty much your soul. That's the most deepest inside of you that you can go is to your soul. Remember, your soul is deeper than your spirit. Your spirit only going to represent what's already in your soul. Right. And your soul is what's going to come out your heart. Because remember, God don't look at the eyes. God don't go by, you actually go by your heart. And it's somewhere in the Bible. Find it for yourself. Don't take my word for it. Because I don't know where it's at in the Bible, but I felt like it is.
Try Proverbs 27:1.
And if we don't get it right, because I had somebody go hard in the family one time. I just want to let y'all know. What did it say? Read for yourself or self-approval.
Right.
Yeah, so our spirit just talking.
Right. You got to find that for yourself. You don't know where it is. There's a million books in the Bible.
Yeah, find it for yourself.
And let us know.
And this is strictly coming from the spirit. Now, Chris, one thing I can say about you, you have always been a working man. And like when I first moved to California, I had my stuff together. I was working and doing the comedy. Right. But then I gave up on the job rather than they gave up on me. I just went to the party. That's my story. I'm sticking with it.
In the show.
And when we departed, I just thrust myself in nothing but comedy. You know what I mean? And which continued to build my gift and my talent. But at the same time, it was self-destruction as far as how I was living because I had no income coming in to make a living off of comedy. I wasn't a household name yet. And I'm still not a household name. Right. You know, I get some headlining gigs here and there and whatever, but I'm still coming. Still becoming a household name to where I don't have to work a 9 to 5. Right. But a lot of people thought when I got in the storage unit that I was blaming God, which initially I started off doing something. But I had to wise up because what I realized was God showed me, that was self-destruction. I say man don't work and a man don't eat. That's true. And before you left Memphis, Tennessee, I told you you have to work a job and do comedy. You have to do the same amount of comedy. You have to put in the same amount of time in comedy. And I'm sharing this because this is something you always been doing. He said, you go work your 9 to 5. And then when you go do your comedy at night, you have to put in the same amount of work that an unemployed person who had 24 hours just to do nothing but comedy. You're going to take 8 or 9 of those hours, you're going to go to 9 to 5. And then you're going to take them other 6, 8 hours when you're not sleeping, and you're going to outwork the person who had 24 hours to do it. Right. That's the plan. Right. So it's not like you can make an excuse of saying, well, this person, Chris had 24 hours to prepare for this audition. Right. Nope. I got to take my 8 hours and outdo what you had 24 hours to do. Right. You understand what I'm saying? Right. But what comes with it is that takes discipline and it takes to be responsible. It's not my kids' responsibility to wait on my dream to manifest. That's not fair to them. You understand what I'm saying? I mean, my dad did me the same way, but that don't mean I got to do it to them.
My son doing it too. My son trying to accomplish a rap career and don't give me nothing. You waiting on your dream to manifest before you can be.
Yeah, so, because at one point it was like this. I put the punchline with the spirit. I mix them together all the time. So they all under God. so I said, so when I was growing up, my daddy didn't take care of us. My mama had 4 boys. My mama raised 4 boys by herself. And my daddy didn't take care of us. My daddy left when I was 2. And so, and he passed on. Now he's going on home to heaven. He taught me some valuable lessons. So
never had a relationship at all?
No, we always had a relationship. He taught us how to say the Lord's Prayer. That's the reason why I don't drink today. So he taught us some valuable lessons when he showed up. But what I'm getting at is, I take care of my kids. Right. You know, and my dad would be turned over in his grave had he know I was sitting here being responsible. Because it's in our bloodline not to take care of them. That is a punchline, ladies and gentlemen. That's hilarious. My dad would be turned over in his grave knowing that I got my son his own room. It's like, what's wrong with you? You're messing up the bloodline. You being responsible? You paying the rent? Who taught you that? No, deny them kids and start a new life. It's just in our bloodline. No, just playing. That was a joke, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, a little bit of truth to it, but you know what I mean. So I don't even know what point I was making.
We talking about me working and you. And
going back to that. Right. So, back to Chris. So I was, long story short, guys, I was in the storage unit for self-destruction because I was being irresponsible. And it was through God's mercy and grace I was able to come out of it. But God said, man, don't work, man, don't eat. So I had to go clock in and get myself a job so I could provide for me and my kids. Because once again, it's not your kids' responsibility to wait on your dream to manifest. Which means you have to clock in. A lot of people, I don't want to work, I don't want to do this, and I don't want to do that. It ain't about what you want to do. Men do what they have to do to be responsible for their family and themselves. And when you do that, I think you give more room for God to bless you. Even if it's a spiritual blessing. Right. You understand what I'm saying? Of being responsible and taking care of your business. So I was in and out because honestly, I was kind of doing what all I knew from a father figure. Right. Which is my dad would pop in one day, be gone the next day. But when he did pop in, I can say he made it count. Because I talked about this on the show before, but me and my 3 older brothers, none of us drink. And so, I mean, they may occasionally have a drink or two, but I don't have nothing.
But and y'all got the same father?
Same daddy, same mama. My daddy used, I shared this before, my daddy used to put a liquor bar. He'll wake everybody up in the house 3-something in the morning. make all of us get up and sit around the couch. He'll put a bottle of Hennessy, set it on the center of the table. 3 in the morning, we sleepy, we gotta go to school tomorrow. My mama saying, leave those boys alone, they gotta go to school tomorrow. They used to just sit there and make us watch this bottle of liquor. He would make us look at it. And if you turn away or nod off, automatic, pow, get popped. So we got to sit there and watch it. And after about 2-3 hours of watching that liquor bottle, my daddy would say, now you see that liquor? He said, one thing I want to share with y'all is, and I want you to make sure you remember this, if you never mess with it, it'll never mess with you. Mm-hmm. He said, if you don't touch it, it'll never come off that table or off that shelf and touch you. Mm-hmm. He said, you leave it alone, and it'll leave you alone. Mm-hmm. He said, now your daddy problems always mess with it, and he would pick it up and open it, and he would say, and it messes with me back. Did you know, my pops did that, bro, every single time he showed up for all the times I've seen him in my life, bro. He woke us up and made us do that, bro. I don't drink to this day for that reason. Or smoke. So is that not valuable? Another time,
that's deep.
Another time he made us show, he made us learn the Lord's Prayer. He said, what's the Lord's Prayer? We didn't know the Lord's Prayer. Mm-hmm. He wrote it down, sent us to the back to study it. When we came out, we still didn't know it. Because why? We went to the room and started playing the game. So about an hour later, broke out a bell. We had to get in line. And before we got out that line, because every word you miss with every lick you got. Mm-hmm. After that, you get 10 minutes to look at the prayer again, and you get back in line. Almost like I was playing. I was acute. I've been acute. I just didn't cross the college. But I was 8 years old when that happened.
That's so southern.
But I tell you what, everybody knew the Lord's Prayer. That night. That night. We all learned the Lord's Prayer that night, bro. And so I say that to the kid's mom that stop denying. I talked about this stuff before, Chris. Mm-hmm. Stop denying fathers time spent with their kids because they not financially stable the way you desire. Mm-hmm. They may not be able to financially take care of the kids at this point or at this time, but do stop mistaking money for time. Mm-hmm. So many other parents today, especially the young moms, young mothers, if you will, they will stop a child from seeing the father because he's not financially participating or he's not with her. Mm-hmm.
Time is money only coincides when you got a 9 to 5, not when you got your kids. Absolutely. You exchange your time for money when you have a job, but not when you're taking care of your kids. When I pick up my daughter or have my son, I don't look at it as a job, and even though it tires me out, but I don't look at it as a job. I'm spending time with my children. I've been a father since I was 19, so I had my first child 19, been working since I was 16. So when I had my son at 19, I would drive from LA to San Bernardino every weekend to pick up my child, because that's where the mama lived. Mm-hmm. And I did that when I got off work.
Looking at them.
And well, I did that when I got off work. 3 o'clock in the afternoon from LA to San Bernardino. So everybody from California.
Right there, Chris, I want to give you a proper introduction to that. Mm-hmm. Here's a man, especially for all the male comedians or entertainers who did some of the stuff I did, which was not taking care of my kids to the best of my ability because I was refusing to work knowing that I wasn't a household name making that kind of money in comedy, which left pressure on my kid's mom to take care of my daughter and my son. Now, did I financially help them out? Yes, I did. But was it to the best of my ability? No, because I wasn't working with income coming in. Now I'm stepping up to the plate and doing, handling my business like that. Fortunately, I had a kid's mom that didn't stop me from spending time. Mm-hmm. Here and there they did, but not all the way. Right. I say that to say that was my self-destruction. I don't want nobody to make the same mistake I made. Mm-hmm. I want you to take the example as he breaks off this subject, because here's a man, from the minute my flight land, no matter what, no matter how late Chris stayed out at the comedy club, he stayed out with all the unemployed comedians, 2, 3 in the morning. But he would get up every morning at 6 or 7 o'clock in the morning and go clock into that 9 to 5. And he always have, and he put in the same amount of work that us comedians was doing. He got booked for the same TV shows, same tours, same everything. So it's not like he was missing because he was at work. The only difference is he had a donkey at night to open up for his kids. It had a nice car to drive and pick us up who wasn't working. and gave us $2-3 to get a sandwich. And we were performing for chicken or French fries. And so I want to give you your props for that and allow you to share that struggle, because I remember nights where you used to kind of envy us being unemployed all day.
Yep.
And I used to be the first one to remind me. Every time he give me that speech about, man, shit, I quit my job, I feel like I'm not getting the same opportunities or developing my gift or talent as you guys that are not working. And every time I would have to say, come look at this storage unit. Come on. Look at this storage unit. Look at me hopping this gate at 2-3 in the morning. Because I want this to remind you to go to your job every morning so you can continue to provide for yourself and your kids. So, but I know that wasn't hard. I mean, I know that wasn't easy. That wasn't an easy task. So I want you to share that struggle with the people and taking care of yourself and your kids and still trying to compete with us unemployed 24-hour comedians at that time. How was that for you? Because I know, go ahead.
It was definitely a struggle, man. Like you said, man, it was a lot of work, staying out all night, and Memphis really reminded me of that, because I dropped Memphis off at the storage unit. And let me tell you something about unemployed people. They want to have a conversation till 3 in the morning. As many times I tried to leave, hey man, I got to get up and go to work. Yeah. And we started another conversation that turned into 3 in the morning. But I still got up, man, and did what I had to do. I'd be at the comedy clubs every night, and I did. Now that I look at it, he had to remind me. I didn't see all the blessings that came out of it. I got the same opportunities and booked the same stuff as a comedian that didn't have a job. I still booked those same, got on Who's Got Jokes, went on the road because I had a job. I had to realize I have a job that allowed me to work when I want to. I only have to work every other weekend.
Right.
And I have free health care, and I have a nice vehicle, and I have a place to lay my head for my kids. So, but it was a struggle working currently till today. It's still been done in television appearance, and I'm still shooting sketches and doing whatever I have to do until God say, Chris, you know what? I bless you with enough now. You can let that job go. And now that I think about it, if I didn't have that job, which is one of my closing bits to my joke, is about working a 9-to-5, which is a bit that gets a standing ovation. It's an amazing bit. And I think about, like, God spoke to my spirit and said, Chris, you wouldn't even have this bit to talk about if I didn't place you there. So instead of looking at how I'm feeling, I got to look at how God is feeling. Like, he placed me there for a purpose and a reason. I've done shows for the company that I work for. 4,500, 5,000 people, big auditorium. Didn't call one comedian because they just wanted me. Got all the money myself. And I'm like, you know what I'm saying? And that would have never came if I didn't work at this job, man. So I really, for all the comics out there. Oh, and I want to shout out a comic, Cal Hamilton, man. He has a job now. And he said, Chris, all these years I've been seeing you work, and I just got a job, 2020, man, and said, you know what? If Chris can get up and go to the comedy clubs, he's booking more shows than I am, and he got a 9-to-5. He went out and got him a job. So I don't even know who's looking at me and who's paying attention to me and noticing the good things I'm doing. I'm just doing them. And Memphis noticed a lot of things that I don't even pay attention to. So with that being said, man, if you a comic and you feel like you in order to make or entertainer period, a singer, a dancer, tap dance, an entertainer period, if you feel like the only way to make it is if you sleep in your car or if you sleep in a storage unit, if you feel that's the only way to make it, that's a false reality, man. You need to take care of yourself because you are more important than that. You yourself, and then everything else will follow, man. Is gonna come. As long as you can put the same amount of work in as an unemployed person. You can put that same amount of work in having a 9-to-5, like Memphis said.
Yeah, because most of the people, especially comics, who are unemployed in daytime, mostly sleep and masturbate. I'm talking all day. Sleep, masturbate. Sleep, masturbate. Then get up and get ready for the show that night. You done wasted 14 hours sleeping and masturbating. And so, one thing I always admired about Chris, like I said, clockwork. The man got up and went to work every single morning. And when his situation changed where the kids had to come and stay with him, he had that roof over his head. He was able to put food in their bodies. He was able to put clothes on their back. But what if he didn't work that 9 to 5? Like, let's just say for me with my kids, Mom, what if they didn't have that roof for my kids over their head? I'm the man, and I didn't have a roof over my head. I'm in the storage room 3-4 years.
Right.
So what if they didn't have a roof over their head? Then what? You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
And so that's the reason I say I don't glorify what I've been through. You understand what I'm saying? Because I understand it was self-destruction.
Right.
A lot of people be like, oh, you did this, you did this. No, brother. That had nothing to do with God. That was self-destruction that got me there. It was God's mercy and grace that got me out of there. Because I went and got a job.
Right. Starts with self.
Always start with self. I tell people, even in relationships and marriages, if you can master this, man, what I'm ready to share with you, you'll be a better person for it. Your marriage will be better. Your relationships will be better. Your friendships will be better. If you can just master this small tool. And it's going to be really challenging for a lot of people. But if you apply this to your life, you're going to be a much better person for it. For example, if, let's say I'm in a relationship, right? Dating a young lady, right? Well, when a relationship goes sour, when a marriage goes sour, when a friendship not working, people are so quick to call out all the flaws of the other person. Call out all the behavior that they did to make the relationship not work, make the marriage not work, make the friendship not work. They can even do the dates. They can start breaking down the time. You remember you said this on this date, this time. You remember you did this at this time and this date. That's the wrong mindset to have, because once you do that, you pretty much placing the blame on the other person. That's not to say the other person didn't do all the stuff you're saying. But the way you're going about it, that's not going to help y'all marriage. It's not going to help your relationship. It's not going to help your friendship. Right. So what you have to do is, this is the challenge that I challenge everybody to do. Write down all the positives of the person that you're dating. And write down all your negatives. And then compare the two. And let me say that again. Write down all the other person positives and write down all your negatives and compare it. Now, I know what they're thinking already. Well, that's unfair. Why am I writing down all they positive and all my negatives and compare it? No, let me write down my negatives and they negatives and compare that. Let me write down my positive and they positive and compare that. That way it makes sense. Right. Where that ain't doing nothing but allowing y'all to continue to argue. Because now I'm comparing my negatives to yours, my positive to yours. We don't grow. The marriage or the relationship or the friendship don't develop because you're too busy still competing and blaming each other. So if you really want to know how you can become better, the person you're married to or the person you're in a relationship with, or if it's your homeboys, it can be regular friendships. It don't have to necessarily be a boy-girl thing. It can be home girls, homeboys. Write down all the positives of the person you're dating or married to in a relationship with. And write down all your negatives. And then put them next to each other. And the reason why I say that is because at this point, you're highlighting this person's positives and you're reviewing the things that you like about them, the things you love about them, the things you respect about them. So you're only seeing their positives. Right. Then you're looking at all your negatives. And then you'll be able to see yourself clearly. As a man, I do this. I did this. Right. I said this. I did that. I've been here before.
Right.
I did this and that. To me, that is the only way you can see who you really are.
But this is only for the people who don't feel that they perfect. Because there's going to be one person out there, I can't find nothing negative about me. This is only for the unperfect person, which is everybody out there.
Man, that's powerful what you said. Because somebody would take time out and still make the list of all the other person's negatives and all the lists of their positives and then compare that list. No. Because at that point, you're still playing the blame game, and you continue to run circles, and you won't accomplish nothing. The marriage won't become successful. The marriage won't be like wine and get better with time. The friendship won't develop to being the friendship won't continue to develop the way it could have developed. Only way marriages get better, only way relationships get better, only way homies and homegirls continue to stand by each other's side is one thing only. You must see your own flaws. And the only way you can see your own flaws is truly write down the next person's positives and write down all your negatives and then compare it. And if you do that, you're going to be see yourself clearly and all the things you need to work on and you want to get better at to match their positive. And that's called working on self within. And if you do that, let me tell you, marriage will get better. The relationship will get better. The homies, the home girls, all this will get better. And it's vice versa. Don't just let your partner do it. You be the one do it. Write down all their net positives and then write down your negatives. And then y'all come to the table. That person can share with you all your positives that they think about you. And then they can share all their negatives and compare it and say, babe, I apologize. I shouldn't have treated you like that. I need to correct this and correct this, because I'm comparing my negatives to your positives.
Right.
And then if your partner can sit across the table and do the same thing, and just because you got 20 things and they got 72 things, don't put it. That's going to start to another argument. Wait a minute, baby. We said 20. You done wrote 72 negatives and 3 positives. You know what I'm saying? That's petty. Don't get caught up into the petty part. Let your partner read down your positives and then read down their negatives and compare their negatives to your positive. Because it's only at that point both of y'all will see y'all self for what self is worth and what self need to correct.
Right.
And that is much better than me seeing in myself than you telling me. Makes sense, Chris?
Makes a lot of sense.
Because if somebody tell you, you're going to be in your defensive mode.
Right.
Anybody sitting here trying to tell you all the negatives about you, you're naturally going to go into your defensive mode.
Every human.
Then you're going to start calling out all their flaws.
Right.
And then y'all going to run in circles and this person cheating. All because you two individuals couldn't sit down like adults and learn how to correct self. It's easier said than done. But I'm telling y'all, that is a challenge, man. I've tried it before.
It is.
Write down all the other person positive. And guess who gave me this? God, because didn't nobody else tell me.
Wow.
I got that, man. I was trying to make a relationship work. And I realized, sitting in my room one day, man, I know all her flaws. I know everything about her I don't like. I know everything she did to hurt me. I know everything she said that destroys me. I don't like it. But I'm slow to go over her positives. But I can go over all her negatives. Same with me. She can run my negatives down like brrrr.
Right.
You can run your negatives down like a machine gun. Brrrr.
Right. Your negatives.
Yeah. Yo, won't call their own stuff.
Right.
Now, when you tell them to run down your positives, now it's like pow. 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 Run down my negatives.
Yep.
But the minute you can run down a person's positive and run down their negatives, pow, pow, pow. You got to switch roles. And the only way you can do that, guys, if you write down their positives and your negatives and compare the two. And I was able to do that when I was trying to save my relationship.
Right.
I saw all the things I did that made her feel the way she feel. I saw all the things I did that made her say what she said.
Right.
I saw what I did that hurt her feelings. And I wanted to make corrections on that. So I became on a new level. I elevated. But she never took time out to practice the exercise. She wrote down all her positives and continued to write down all my negatives and continued to address me with my negatives. So her mind would have not allowed her to elevate to see her own flaws. And what I was trying to explain to her was, listen, just try this exercise. Write down all the stuff you like about me and write down all your negatives and then compare it. Because that's what I did. That's what got me treating you better. That's what got me talking to you better. That's what got me respecting you at an unconditional level. Because I compared your positive to my negative.
And you know what's great about this story? What you're saying you did? That's an amazing thing to do. But when you do it, this just lets me know that does not mean that person is still for you. Because that might not be but it's a great way to look at self.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Even though we not saying, Memphis not saying this is going to save your relationship
or your marriage. Exercise to practice an attempt to save it.
Right, because there's going to be somebody out there listening going to say, Memphis, I still got a damn divorce. I done wrote all these. But the look at the main exercises to look at for self, you. To have some self, to have some accountability for self.
It's just like I tell people all the time. Which brings me to this. I talked about this before. I don't let everybody critique me or give me positive criticism. Because the enemy hides behind positive criticism. The devil hides behind positive criticism. So in other words, Chris, you're a comedian. I'm a comedian. Now, you done went in front of me. You done 20 shows. I gave this example before. You done 20 comedy shows. You got 20 standing ovations. Now, one time I said, you killed it, Chris. You destroyed the place, Chris. Chris, that new joke you did was fire, Chris. You understand what I'm saying? I ain't said nothing to you. Then on the 21 show, you don't have a good show. You have an okay show. Didn't go well. And then I have the audacity to come up to you and say, hey, Chris, that last show you did, man, you know, it wasn't funny, bro. Right. You know, your stage pressure was off. You held the mic wrong. You shouldn't have opened up with this. You shouldn't open up with that. And then I'm looking at you hide behind positive criticism. Oh, I'm just trying to use positive criticism, man. I'm just this and that. You understand what I'm saying? Well, I didn't give you no compliments from the first 20 shows you did. But I want to take time out to express myself because I'm giving you positive criticism because your 21 show didn't go well. Wow. So I say that to say, I don't allow people who don't compliment me to give me positive criticism. Right. If you're not somebody telling me good show, great job, fire, then I don't allow you to give me a positive criticism because to me, you're hating. And that is what you're doing.
You're looking for the negative.
Right. If you're about seeing me win, man, you killed it. You got a standing ovation. Right. And when I don't win, then you'll come over and give me some positive criticisms, give me some notes. That's something I can listen to all day. Right. Because you're going to take time out to tell me when I'm funny. Now, somebody will take time out to tell you that you had a great set tonight. I don't mind those people taking time out to tell me something I could have done better. Right. But if you somebody never say nothing to me, when I'm destroying the place, as soon as I do bad, you want to come over and put your negative energy on me. Right. You can be right in what you're saying, but I can't receive it. Right. You feel what I'm saying? So be careful of people who hide behind positive criticism if they're not the people who have complimented you. And you can apply this in relationships too, but this happens so much in relationships. I don't know why it happened, but it happens. I remember Ron G. Talking about this years ago before he got married, about how you can be dating a person and they won't compliment you. They won't tell you you're handsome, you smell good, you look good, you dress good. You have to literally go outside your house to catch all the compliments from strangers. Right. You understand what I'm saying? And I kind of look at that like back to the positive and negative thing. If you're not the person that's complimenting me, and you can't be the person that give me no positive criticism. If you're not the person that's telling me I'm handsome, I smell good, I look good, I dress nice, then you can't be the person that tell me I don't smell good, or I don't look nice, or that shirt is ugly. You know what I'm saying? It's amazing how you can date a person that tell you I don't like that outfit, but when you got on the outfit they like, they don't say nothing to you.
Ain't that something?
Isn't that crazy? You can tell me my outfit is ugly when you don't like it, but you can't tell me I'm looking good when I'm feeling fly and I'm fresh. Mm-hmm. You don't say nothing.
Right.
So you the individual that can, once again, you take time out to criticize me. It's basically what I'm saying is, if you're in a relationship like that, then they know different than the person that I'm talking about. Don't let people give you no positive criticism.
Right.
Because the same person used to always say, this is positive criticism, positive criticism. It took me a long time to realize positive criticism is the devil hiding behind positive criticism. Look here, hold on, Slim. You ain't never gave me no compliment, so you ain't in position to critique me.
Right.
Now here I am feeling fly, feeling good. Now you telling me my shirt ugly or my outfit don't look good or this and that, and I'm receiving all your negative energy.
Right.
But so now what's happening is every time you compliment me, it comes with a but or it's negative energy. I like your shirt, but those pants.
Right.
See what I'm saying?
You always gotta find something.
But those shoes, so your compliment is never straight up.
No.
Your compliment is a but.
Right.
If you compliment.
Right.
See what I'm saying?
Right.
And so ladies and guys, so kings and queens, man, start complimenting your person that you're married to or you're dating. Stop being the person that's hiding behind positive criticism. If you're not going to tell your man or your woman positive stuff about them, then you do not have the right to tell them negative stuff about them. If you're not going to be a king or queen that compliment your wife and compliment your husband, boyfriend, and girlfriend, if you're not going to be that person to compliment them so they can feel like they can conquer the world when they walk out the door, then you shouldn't be the person to tie them down. Period. What you think about that?
Oh man, that's deep, brother. That is so 100, and it's so, I love it. And that's what I didn't at one point in my life I wasn't that person. You know,
I don't know why Chris keep looking at me.
because you know what, I'm so used to having a conversation with a person.
They looking at you, man. They talking to you. Chris keep putting.
It is back.
So what happened, Memphis, was look at the camera.
I'm so before pandemic, I'm used to talking to people and not to electronics. I'm sorry, but yeah, man. What Memphis said is absolutely true, man. Like you really need to start complimenting your mate. You know, instead of always pointing out, it's easy to find a negative in anybody, any human being. And but finding a positive, can you do that? So Memphis, brother, I was that same person, man. A long time ago, like I'll find all the negative in my relationship, like, yeah, you don't do this, you don't do that, and I would find all the negative, and then the minute I see some positive, I would, oh, babe, you know what, you was good, I appreciate you with this, but remember when you, it was always a but behind it, which took the sincerity out of it, which the compliment doesn't even mean anything now. Absolutely. When a but comes after that, follows behind that, man. So Memphis, what you saying, that came straight from his spirit, because we ain't rehearsed none of this. So what he's talking is straight from the spirit, man.
I do the same thing when I'm.
And it's so, yeah, he does what God leads him into. That's what he follows. So man, that is great, brother. I love that concept.
Yeah. So the key, guys, is like I said, man. Stop blaming others. Take self-accountability. Because guess what? Although that exercise I practiced, it didn't work in the relationship that I was trying to make work. But it made me a better person for it, because now I know I did to the best of my ability what I could do to make that scenario work. But like you said, just because you practice or exercise, if it ain't meant for that person, then it ain't going to be meant. You know what I mean? You just go on to the next situation and you keep in mind of those negative things that you don't apply to your new scenario or your new situation, so you can continue to be the better person you can be, the best person you can be, as well as making that marriage work, making that relationship work by simply taking the positive, turning all your negatives into positives. Right. Like I was talking about on the radio show yesterday. No's are blessings. All your rejections are blessings, because you only need a few yes to be successful in this industry.
That's it.
You know what I mean? So all the no's lead you up to that yes. You understand what I'm saying? So all the bad relationships you've been in lead you up to the best relationship. Right. If you're correcting the negatives to positives.
Right.
That's the whole key. Taking all the negatives and turning them into positives. Quit living with those negatives on your shoulders and your neck, on your head, or in your spirit and your soul. Stop living with those negatives, man. Take those negatives and change them into positives. Because when you take those negatives and you change it into positive, you're going to find a workload of negative energy released from your shoulders, relief from your spirit. And then you, at that point, your core is pure. Like Chris said, it was hard to give a compliment. The compliment comes with a but. And all those things are develop toxic relationships. That's all it equals to. All the stuff that you're not sharing, that you're holding within, it's a negative. It's a negative. And it's turning toxic inside your body. So you're the one becoming unhealthy because you don't want to share with your person how you feeling. But when you share with somebody how you feeling, like Tyler Perry would say. Tyler Perry said.
Speaking of Tyler Perry, Barry Brewer just got in here too.
Oh, he did?
Barry Brewer, what up, man?
What up, Barry Brewer? It's one of the good guys. I like the good guys. I surround myself with the good guys. But like Tyler Perry said once, he said, if you're share with someone this behavior that you're displaying makes me uncomfortable, and that person tries to work on it, then you continue to be friends with that person or continue to date that person. But if that person ignores you and don't make no attempts in trying to work on it for your discomfort, then let that person go.
Right.
Because that's a person who's going to be who they're going to be. And if you're just tuning in, man, we actually ready to close out. It's been a spiritual, it's pretty spiritual moment, bro.
Very spiritual moment, man. And yeah, I love this, man. I love this, man.
Absolutely, man.
I got a little hot during the show. Next show I do will be talked about a fan. This fireplace got my back sweating.
No, turn that switch. I meant to turn it off.
Yeah, he did say it was gonna be for a little bit, but it's been the whole show, and I've been sweating. Y'all saw me wiping my face, and that's because of this nice fireplace. He got it on 187. Dang, man, my back sweating. No, man, thank you for having me, man. This was amazing. This was a good talk, man, and you taught me something. I'm gonna try to exercise with both my women, and hopefully I can keep them both. No, I'm just playing my girl. She logged in.
Oh, she did.
I'm just joking.
He's joking. You go home, all your clothes be cut up. Are you joking? No, I'm joking too. I'm just joking. Tell the people where they can find you.
Hey, man, you can find me, Chris Sneed. That's ChrissSneed. That's on Facebook. Instagram, it's Chris Sneed. That's ITS and Chris Sneed. You can find the comedy show Late Night Hollywood Labs, produced by Bentley Cal Evans. Ron G was hosting. You can find me on that. You can catch me on Tammy Mac. I got my own segment of conspiracy theories. I do
Which
that.
is hilarious. Make sure you tune in.
And I got some more stuff, man. Some more content that I'm putting out there. But catch my conspiracy theories, man. I got a whole series on Facebook and Instagram of conspiracy theories, and I got some more stuff to come, man. That's it.
And like I said, man, we thank you for coming to join me on Storytime by the Fireplace for episode 7 here with Memphis Will, man. Your energy was dope. Your story was just beyond inspiration, and we're praying that the people was inspired by your story and your testimony, along with every other thing that y'all heard said. Like I said, I don't have no bulletin points, so I just only speak from the Spirit. So anything that may have sounded like it came out the Bible, just read it for yourself, because I don't want you to say, Memphis, you said this was in the Bible. No, I didn't. I said it was my spirit. Find it in the Bible for yourself. I'm just a sinner. Just working on. What's that song? It's a blues song. You ain't gonna know it's like a blues gospel song. Lee Williams would say, I'm just a nobody, trying to tell everybody that I know somebody that can save everybody. You don't know about that.
I don't even know this. Memphis is a blues.
I bet Barry know that though. It's a gospel song.
Oh, Barry know that.
The Williams brothers. They call Lee Williams.
Lee Williams.
The Williams brothers.
The Williams brothers.
Yeah,
Barry, if you know that, put a thumbs up.
It's a homeless man. The video is about a homeless man. and he said, I'm just a nobody.
Mm.
You know how people try to treat people
Right.
like beneath them.
Right.
So he'll tell people, I'm just a nobody, trying to tell everybody about somebody that can save everybody.
Wow.
You understand what I'm saying?
That's dope.
Yeah, so don't take my word for it. I'm just a sinner.
Right.
And God loves me for who I am.
Right.
And it ain't up to y'all to judge me, because I don't got to see y'all at the end of my rope. When God called me home, I got to see him, not y'all.
Right.
So what am I saying? Stop living your life for people.
But he gonna tell you about it, and I'm gonna tell you about it. That's your job.
Live your life for God. And everybody say, oh, you sound like a preacher. No, we all preachers. We just preachers in different forms. And whatever God put on your spirit to say, you can say it. As Bishop Norris Jones say from the City of Refuge, don't judge the message. I mean, no, receive the message, don't judge the messenger.
Right.
Because you don't know who God gonna use to say something to you. Could be a homeless man, could be a sinner, could be a murderer, could be a whoever. And I did a show about bathroom talk that the subject was it takes lesser energy to be saved than pretending to be saved. And most of the people who think they saved, not saved. Most of the people who don't know they saved are really saved. But you got to go watch that episode. And that was basically breaking down, like, you know, all the people that were going to the church just would assume they saved because they go to church every Sunday. They would assume they saved. And then now when God put their back up against the wall, he the last person they pray to. They don't got no faith.
Wow.
But that homeless man standing in front of the corner store, who you ignore and having drinks and all day, his faith is unbreakable. You understand what I'm saying? No matter what God put him through, he give God the glory. He's the one really saved.
Wow. I gotta watch that.
That makes sense.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
That makes sense.
Wow.
How's this man? I even broke it down, and I didn't break down nothing. It was the spirit, because once I do bathroom talk, I asked God about 7:58. God, give me a subject. As soon as he give me a subject about 7:59, he give me a subject right away every time. I did 17 episodes of bathroom talk. I go live, no bulletin points, and I just let the spirit take over with the subject. So that subject that particular night, I forgot what episode it was. But all the episodes I labeled, it's called, it takes lesser energy to be saved than it is pretending to be saved.
Wow.
So that's breaking down all those people in the church that like to judge other people. But the church is the heart. And a lot of people get the real church mixed up with the facility church. Ooh, talk to me. I felt good saying that right there.
Wow.
Stop getting the real church mixed up with the facilities. You got the facility church, and then you got the church in your heart.
Right.
And you think God looking at the person who go to the facility church or the church in your heart?
The church in your heart.
Because the church in your heart don't matter what facility you in. See, the facility can be a facade.
Right.
Those were the pretenders who go. Since I go to church every Sunday, I look saved. Since I dress up nice every Sunday, I look saved. But then as soon as you get into church, you judge the next person that's not dressed as nice as you.
And that's where all that energy comes from, pretending to be saved.
From pretending to be saved. Because the fact is, if you was really saved, then you wouldn't be in there concerning yourself with what this person don't have on. You'll be putting energy into, I'm glad you came. Welcome. See, I gave a whole thing about how a stripper came to church one time at City Refuge, Bishop Norris Jones, and he said he saw all the members moving away from her everywhere she sat because she said she smelled like marijuana. But see, these are so-called saved people who think they saved, pretend to saved people. So somebody come in from off the streets to come in and receive the word from God, and you move away from them because they smell like weed or she was half dressed. And next thing you know, you hear the gospel going on in the church. Basically, everybody pointing their finger and talking about it. You understand what I'm saying? But so the girl got up and got ready and walked out the church. You understand what I'm saying? So Bishop said he saw her, so he sent somebody to go catch her. And then he found out later on that she was a dancer. So she spent most of her life with no clothes on. So what she had on to her was clothes.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
And she said she was dancing at the strip club, and she had stopped going to church because she was a dancer. But it was a customer that was like, I know a church you can go to where they don't judge you. You understand what I'm saying? And so she decided after all these years to go to church. Then boom, when she walked up in the City of Refuge, what does she get? Pretending people who think they say, moving away from her, talking about her, she smelled like marijuana, this and that. But like Bishop was saying, it's a difference between religious and spiritual. at that point, they was being too religious because they was judging her, right or wrong.
Right.
And they was ready to run somebody out the church who hadn't been there in 20 years.
Wow.
And that's where I say church is a facility. You don't get the facility mixed up with the real church, which is the heart. Because like Bishop said, what you should have done was embraced her when she came in. Help her walk down the aisle as she went to have a seat. And ask if she all right and welcome her.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? That's what real saved people do. See, now somebody that don't go to church often, that homeless man that drink in front of the store all day, he would have had sense enough to not judge her and not talk about her and not get out his seat because she sat next to him. Not talk to her because she smelled like marijuana. You know why? Because he's really saved. Because his church is in his heart. But see, the person who got on the nice clothes and think they go to church every Sunday, they took on a judgmental spirit. Because this stripper is beneath me. I don't want to sit next to you. You are half naked. You smell like marijuana. It's inappropriate. It's disrespectful. It's not traditional. It's not how our great grandmama and grandmamas and granddaddies brought us into the church. You understand what I'm saying? And so that's what that episode is based on. I just gave you a little taste of it. But it takes less energy to be saved than it is pretending to be saved. Anyway, that's on one of the episodes from Bathroom Talk. Shout out to our sponsors. Shout out to our sponsors, Arrowhead, for sponsoring both shows, Bathroom Talk on Memphis Will, each and every Tuesday, 7 o'clock Pacific time, Story Time by the Fireplace, each and every Wednesday, 7 o'clock Pacific time. Shout out to Arrowhead for sponsoring. They don't do it yet, but I'm going to speak it to existence. Let's drink it to it. Speak it to existence. They're going to sponsor it. I'm claiming it.
Talks by the Fireplace with Memphis Will. Hey, man, I really enjoyed this show. This is amazing, man. I got to let a lot of stuff off. And I ain't had to be funny. I was just able to be myself, man. And this is a dope show.
And your girl know you here.
And she know I'm here. His picture is up there, baby. It ain't Keisha's house. His picture is up here.
And you know what will find a flaw. No, that ain't the real Memphis. That's digital. You was not there, Chris.
That was the first thing I saw when he set up right here. I said, oh, he got two pictures of himself right here. This is really believable. So
thank you guys for tuning in to Storytime at the Fireplace with Memphis Will. Listen, guys, I'm going to give you 2 platforms that I request that you follow. Do I prefer you do all of them? Yes, I do. But I'm going to give you 2 that I request if you don't feel like doing all of them. I'll give you the 2 I request now. Go to my YouTube page, Memphis Will, and subscribe. So subscribe to Memphis Will and just hit the notification button so you know all the videos that I'm ready to upload. Or go to my Instagram and follow me at the Memphis Will. That's TheMemphisWill. Because when you do that, guys, you help me bring Arrowhead into sponsoring both shows. So go to my YouTube page, subscribe to Memphis Will, hit the notification button, or go to Instagram at the Memphis Will. TheMemphisWill. Now allow me to give you all my platforms. And I request that you do all of them. I prefer you do all of them, but I request those 2. But if you want to do all of them, here's all of them. My Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok, all 3 of them is just Memphis Will. It's under Memphis Will. Now, I don't want nobody to just type in JUST, just Memphis Will. No. That's just me explaining to you it's just Memphis Will. You know, community college people, you got to go the extra mile. Well, I typed in just Memphis Will. No, just is not in it. That's just me completing the sentence. But Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok is under Memphis Will. So just type in MEMPHISWILL. You can follow my Facebook. You can subscribe to my YouTube and my TikTok. My Instagram or Twitter is the Memphis Will. You just put the THE in front of it. That's THEMEMPHISWILL for Instagram and Twitter. I'm about to upload both of these videos. And if you give me 3 minutes, guys, I'm going to, just in case you forget all the platforms that I just said, I'm about to put it in the link. So when I initially upload the video, it's only going to have the Storytime by the Fireplace episode 7 with Chris Nees. But I'm going to edit that within 3 minutes of turning off this camera and put up all the rest of the stuff so you can see the links and what to go to. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Remember, high vibration, positive energy. You are who you think you are. So show me who your friends are, and I know who you get ready to become. So surround yourself with positive people so your energy and spirit in your space can continue to be positive and you continue to grow. Everybody know me. You know I close out all my shows like this, man. Everybody hold you right hand real fast, real fast. Ladies and gentlemen, if you don't remember absolutely nothing I said, make sure you remember this. Life is a gift from God. So make sure you utilize it with a little bit of smile, a little bit of laughing, and a little bit of loving each and every day. God bless you. God says, so it is so. Peace out.
Peace.
Let me close them out. Instagram, y'all get a little more extra time. Close out Facebook. Y'all get a little more extra time. IG. Let me see. That's post now. Never delete. Post. Boom. Facebook is going. See what Instagram, Chris. Like Facebook, you can go back and read all the comments.
Right.
I said, well, Instagram, once you post, you can't see the comments.
Right, that's it.
So now I do it now. So you can see what the people were saying. Man, we got 1,000 comics. I only can see 4. Yes, I just. Yeah. Where your girl at? Right here? Okay, let me hit wave to the good people. I just wave at her. There go Deborah. See Deborah always tuning in.
Deborah from what?
Comedy Union.
Oh.
Manager Deborah. Yeah, she always tuning in and support my shows. There go my boy Eddie. You know me? Eddie was just in Vegas.
Just hit me up talking about coming to Vegas on the 20th.
Yeah, we were just in Vegas together this past
I
weekend.
know, I saw that.
Just in Vegas. Shout out, man. My boy Chris checked in. Girl son checked in. I can't pronounce half of these names. Trey checked in. A lot of people. Albert checked in. My nephew, rest in peace, Kobe Bryant, his mama checked in. Barry Brewer checked in. Hustling Gold, thanks for supporting the show in Vegas. Little G, everybody, man, checked in. Sister Luke, good people, she checked. Pause here. Great episode, love and blessings to you both. Thank you so much, Deborah. High Vibration Positive Instagram. Positive Energy Instagram. About to follow this link, follow everything. Peace out. Say peace out, man.
Peace out, people. I'm gone.
I'm the last face you're going to see. Peace out.